Hey YouTube, welcome to my video. It's going to be quick and painless, I hope. We'll start out by telling you this is my home way to do your board or whatever, so you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money to pay someone to do something that's pretty simple. You're going to need steel wool or green scratch pad, which is tougher than the white, so the heavier duty one, You're going to need a plastic scraper, You're going to need a sharpening stone, your wax, obviously, board wax you can get from the gift shop or whatever, Amazon. Your white scratch pad or cleaning pad or whatever. Your iron, which is a clothes iron, I know, but you could use them, believe it or not. And, just a dry cloth. So the process is going to be, you're going to start with the board's already waxed, so I'm just going to show you what I did. And it's a pretty easy process. You're going to start with the sharpening stone. It's just a sharpening stone you get from Harbor Freight, Walmart, whatever, to sharpen knives or whatever. But it's the same as the sandstone or whatever they use to grind down the metal edges here. So you're going to just go over it with the grain of the board, around the edges, just to get any burrs off or anything so you don't damage your iron or whatever, or, it's just a nice smooth cut. You're going to use the sharpening stone for that process. You go around the edges and just work it out nice and easy. Then your next step is going to be the green scratch pad or steel wool. Either one will work. I end up using both, which whatever. But you're going to use this to work out the wax on the board. The old wax, the dry white residue is bad wax. It's, wax that's got damaged by moisture or whatever. It's just no good anymore. So you're going to scrub that up until you get that off the board. It's just, it's not a long process. Don't be gouging your board out. Just work all that crap off of there with the scratch pad / steel wool. And then after that, you're going to want to wipe off any residue you have on the board with your cloth. Just get it wiped off good so you don't have a whole bunch of crap left over. Okay, so once your board is wiped off, you got all that dust and residue off from the processes before, you're going to go to your wax now with your iron, which you do not want on a high temperature. Keep it on a medium temp. If when you apply the wax to the iron, smoke comes from it, it's up too high. Turn it down. So you have that on about a medium setting with your wax. You're going to go around the edge of the board. Drip, 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 drip. It'll be dripping around the edge. A nice slow pace, whatever, about an inch or inch and a half apart from each drop. And then you're going to zigzag along down the board. And then you're going to go back the other way, making like an X. The zigzags are going to turn into X's. And so then once you have your wax on there, you're going to take your iron, and in a slow process, you're going to even out the wax. You're going to melt it down and spread it across the board till, you don't see any dry spots, it'll look like. But, till you see all the areas evenly covered by the by the wax. Sorry. And once that process is complete, where you spread the wax, you're going to take your next process is going to be to scrape the wax off. You don't go, don't use a metal scraper, use a plastic one. You could use a metal one if it's like, if you're not pressing too hard and stuff, but you don't want to gouge the board and stuff like that. So you're going to take and you're going to evenly push the wax off the board. You could do a back and forth motion, but I recommend kind of a one pace motion, up, scrape. So you're going to clean all the wax off the board. As you're scraping, this is about what you'll get off the board, is it'll look like snow almost, You'll scrape that off the board. You'll know when you're about finished is because you'll run your fingernail on the board and you won't really get anything on there. That means you're good. Then you can move to the next step. That will mean you have all the wax removed off the board correctly. You'll move to your next step, which will be the white scrubby pad. This one is not as aggressive as the green one I showed you in the beginning of the video. This is more for the buffing process, or to get any of that leftover little particles of wax you may have missed when you scrape. You're going to want to remember, through the whole process, always stay with the grain of the board, you know. You're not going side to side. You're going with the grain of the board. This will be your finishing process, you know. Work it in good. Take your time. Take your time for the whole process. It'll really pay off for the ride on the mountain, you know. Again, you'll buff this out until you'll be able to tell, man. You'll see the difference. Once you start this process here at the end, you'll start to see that sheen and that nice process pay off. You'll see the nice sheen to it, and you'll just feel it, man. You'll be ready to ride. I hope this video was helpful. You can find most of this stuff at your grocery store, dollar store, or your wife's iron, girlfriend, whatever, mom's, whatever. I hope this video was helpful. And have a great day. Happy New Year.